This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports. We're delighted to be joined on Zoom once again. Obviously, I think it's been a while since we've done a Zoom, but delighted to be joined on Zoom once again with the Kingdom Warrior, Kevin Cronin. I guess obviously the last time we spoke, I guess obviously you're in probably different form than you probably were now, but we obviously spoke to you obviously after your draw with Jimmy Morrissey in Galway. But I guess it probably shows a testament to you. It's straight back on the horse. You're back in action next week in Cork, and I guess you'd sort of no time to sort of maybe think. Obviously, over the last fight, obviously it was just a case of get straight back in the gym and sort of lose a few more pounds. You're obviously going to be making your super middleweight debut next week in the Parochial Hall in Cork.
Yeah, 100%. I think last time we talked, my head was probably twice the size because I remember it was this side the face. I remember it was well out in the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good fight. Good night. I won't go too much into it, whatever. Whatever is now, and so a lot of people are calling me mad. I think that I'm moving down to super middleweight. But I think it's the right move for my career. I think it's gonna suit me. Hell of a tough cut though. Jesus, I didn't expect it to be that tough. Then again, I suppose I wasn't a small light heavyweight either. But just looking forward to it. Yeah. As I said after the first Jamie Morrissey fight, I said like, no feeling sorry for myself. I'll jump straight back into a rematch. We done it. I said it again after the last fight. I said I'm not feeling very sorry for myself. John, I take a tough fight again straight away, and only for the commission wanting me to get my ranking down, down here at super middleweight and see me fight here for, I suppose, health and safety reasons or whatever, because I never fought there before. I'd be trying my hardest to get myself right in with one of the big guys at super middleweight straight away. But look, we have to get next week out of the way now first, and then I'm going straight back into the exciting fights. And careers are short, and I'm not here to cod my fans either. I'm going to give them lots of big nights, and I'm telling you, the Morrissey fights, as big and all as they were, they're only a taster of what's coming.
I guess obviously Parochial Hall in Cork is probably a venue that you probably know for sort of bad reasons. Obviously last year, obviously on fight week, it was obviously supposed to be Tommy Hyde's obviously debut in Parochial Hall, and because he'd obviously medical issues, that the card couldn't go ahead. But I was sort of saying to there off camera that if you'd have sort of taken it bad, it's these things happen in boxing. Obviously, it's not the first time you've sort of had a fight fall through, and it probably won't be the last. But you could have sort of went one or two ways. You could have been negative, cried over for a while, and got no fights, and sort of not trained and ate away and everything else. But you knuckle down and put your head down, and this is now going to be your fourth fight. Within the space of that time, and obviously I know you had a sort of warm up around Hibbert over Manchester in September. You obviously then had the two back-to-back fights with Jamie Morrissey for the Celtic and Irish titles, and obviously now having your fourth fight in 9 months. So when you sort of look at it that sort of way, what sort of followed since is probably a testament to you that you've knuckled down and put your head down and went, let's just get to work.
Yeah, and what you just mentioned there, a lot of fighters go their whole career without even getting to experience what I've experienced this year, within the space of a year. Fought for a Celtic title fight, and two undefeated fighters went at it, and went to war for it. And didn't go straight into a 10-rounder for the Irish title fight. And it's not often fought for, not often, it's not a lot of people get to fight for it, and I done that all in the space of a year, and Jamie did too, fair play to him. But yeah, like you said, it's, if even, let's say I was attempting to make super middle for this Cork show last year. It was the last time I attempted to make it, and then that pushed me back a bit. But it didn't either, because let's say if that fight went ahead at super middleweight, everything would be different. I could have ended up fighting over in Scotland against the guy Jamie fought, because I think it was it after that then that Jamie and Robbie Burke fought, and that kind of opened the door for Jamie to fight for the title then. But let's say it could have all been backwards, It could have been me fighting for the super middleweight title, me staying super middle, and who knows what route that would have taken me down then, or what road. But I think, just look, as much as it was a sickener that the fight fell through last year. What a year it made it, for everyone, not just for me, not just for Jamie, for everyone. Like, within the space of a year, we've written our names in the history books. Like, it's been a crazy year, and it's gas. It's just, again, it's just starting. Like, and this is my super middleweight debut. Like, and
When
as
you
I
sort
said,
of, I know that sort of you always wanted to test and sort of, fighting. And obviously, I know it's coming up now 2 years since obviously you had to fight in Spain, and obviously fighting in Spain obviously cost everybody quite a bit of money and everything else for that. But you obviously wanted to be tested as a pro, and I think it probably. I know that obviously result last time out obviously didn't go to plan, and obviously it was end up in a draw, and everybody's got their obviously thoughts on what it was, but like I think probably more than anything out of the two fights, yours and Jamie's stocks have both rose, and probably confidence wise, that let's face it, when you have two really good fights like that, it can do really good things confidence wise. It can sort of push you to the next level. So do you sort of I know when you sort of look back on it, you sort of should have the strap around your waist sort of now, but do you sort of look back on that now as a good confidence booster, sort of you're going to be making your obviously debut at super middleweight, and obviously then there's a potential always have a big fight afterwards there. But do you now look at that and use them two fights as really good confidence for yourself moving forward?
yeah, no, you could say confidence. I just take the experience from it. Um, there were questions before the Celtic title fight, the 8 rounder. Oh, geez, Kevin's never done it. We've never seen him over 8. He could struggle over 8. I proved everyone wrong there. I showed that I'm built for the championship rounds. Put me in the 10 rounder. Then, was always the last one a fluke. Could Kevin Gask could this? Loads of questions again and again. I showed my metal. I showed I have a chin of steel. As is Jamie. Like, you put two fellas with unbelievable chins in the ring, and we were just absolutely boxing the chins off each other, trying to see who'd give first, and no one did, but yeah, look, I'll take the experience from that. We know I'm good for 10. We know I could. I think it was quite obvious in the last fight I could have done 12, after a 10 round camp. And but that's where I want to be. That's the level I want to be at. I want them 10 and 12 rounders from here on out. I have a 6 rounder in Cork now. Get down to super middleweight. Just hopefully I can make it. Just look, it's not really, this fight's not really about making a statement or anything like that, because we know what's next. And we'll go into that after the fight. But I got to get a win here first. But it's nearly it's just big questions again. Like, there's always questions around my career, but now there's the big questions about the weight. No one's even asked me about the opponent yet. They're all how's the weight? How do you think the refuel is gonna go? Are you gonna be dead after cutting all that weight? Will you be able to perform? And I know me and I know my body, and I know I'll be good in fight night. I always am. Bar Spain, because they're shitty food for refueling. But yeah, but look, I know what I can do in the night, and all the questions will be answered in the night, and then straight back into the big nights. I want to give the fans, again. There's a big crowd going up. I want to give the fans their money's worth. I'm after going through 2 wars, 18 rounds in the last what, 4 months, is it? Last
Yeah,
four
pretty much. I
months,
think was it since
18
January.
rounds, and every one of them rounds was a war in the last 4 months. Um, there's 3 fights on the bounce now, going 18, 24 rounds. So yeah, I wanna give the fight fans now, they're coming up. I want to give them an exciting one. Everyone knows I can punch. They've seen that in the last 2 fights. This I can punch, and that's at a weight up. I'm gonna show them I can bring the power down. And I'll go into plan. Let's get a highlight reel knockout. That's all I'm short now in my career. We've got plenty. There's a lot of good footage of me out there now after them last 2 fights. So there's a lot of good footage, but I want that highlight reel knockout before we go any further, and bring the power down to super middleweight. And I think there's going to be a lot of highlight reel knockouts.
I was sort of going to touch on that sort of, the fact that coming down in weight, obviously, it's keeping the power and stuff there as well. And I know obviously the opponent you're fighting next week as well is actually someone obviously you sparred rounds with, and obviously Paddy McCrory, it's a former opponent of his. Paddy fought him and he was 6-0 as well, and obviously won every round in points. you're obviously not going to go and go, I want to make a statement, I want to do something more than someone else has done, but it's a good gauge for you. And I guess when you look at obviously the career of Paddy McCrory at obviously super middleweight, he's now 17-0. He's obviously been an ABO champion at obviously light heavyweight, sort of moved back down to super middleweight. But it's a good gauge for you, obviously around the same sort of time to see how that obviously you compare against Santos Madrano to see how that you sit at the new weight class.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I seen that. I think it's four. He's fought four Irish guys. Um, I looked at. I can't remember which names are in the nine. I knew Paddy was there. Connor Kyle as well. He fought Connor Kyle, but there was
Conor
two more.
Coyle, Anto
Oh, sorry,
Upton.
no, I'll be the fourth Irish fella. But yeah, like that, he's taken every one of them to the scorecards. But as you say, like or as I said, it's not about making a statement here. It's about me getting the win and getting on to the next one. But I think he's a tough old bloke. You know, he's as you see there, like he's taking some big punchers to the scorecard. Even Jermaine Brown as well. You know, and he can bang a bit. So I'm not looking to make a statement. But as I say, like if I bring the power down to super middleweight, you know I will. If I do get the stoppage, that I do feel that'll be a bit of a statement. You know, not that I need it because as we both know, you know, there's a big night ahead after this anyway. But just to get the win. But yeah, look, as I say, it's really, really all about the performance and the refuel and answering all them questions come fight night.
Will you
And
find
we
it
agree with
strange? Obviously,
agree with that.
I know Jimmy Morrissey's on the card as well, but you find it strange that two are fighting on the card and not fighting each other. I know. Obviously, there's no bad blood or anything there between these, and there's a mutual respect. But these are both fighting on the card, and for the last two cards, you fought each other. Whereas now these aren't fighting each other. You find it weird, sort of his way in and stuff, and you're going, why are we not doing a head to head? It's become a regular in 2023 when one of you's fought the other was on the opposite side. But will it feel strange to you next week that Jamie won't be on the opposite side from you?
Nah, not at all. Not at all. I like Jamie. He's a good guy. We get along well. As you say, there's no bad blood there. Like we fought in two title fights, and we'd be having little conversations even before, after the weigh-ins and stuff. There's nothing. We're both there. We were both there to do a job, and we know that. There's not many other fellas, after they face off and weigh in for a title fight, could be just standing in the corner, having a chat or whatever. But that's the way we are. Like that, it's all down to the environment you're in. If I'm fighting Craig McCarthy for a title fight and he starts biting and throwing his head at me or pushing me, I'm gonna have to adjust to that and bite down, and not be overawing or anything like that. But like that, me and Jamie we're kind of cut from the same cloth, so we get along well. No, it's not gonna be any way awkward or anything like that.
It's probably hard for you not to probably, I know you focus on one sort of fight at a time and stuff like that as well, but obviously it's hard for you not to probably think of obviously what's next. Obviously the BAI have obviously said if you've obviously come through against Madrano next week that they're obviously going to sanction you and Craig McCarthy for the Irish title at super middleweight. Is it hard for you not to, I know we always say you focus on one fight at a time, but it's hard for you not to sort of look ahead that sort of where you probably should be the champion at the moment at obviously light heavyweight. Did they obviously then look ahead to Craig McCarthy fight, or is it just strictly get next week out of the way and then negotiation can start for that?
Yeah, look, I'm telling myself, my coaches are telling me, that fight's not made until you get the job done. So as far as we're concerned, right now, Santos Madrano is the biggest fight of my career because a loss to him or a draw to him ends everything for a while. So I have to beat him. No matter how much better than him people think I am, it's the most important fight of my career right now. So I can't overlook anything. Look, it's super middleweight still a big division, big weight division, and a lot of big punchers in there. So you gotta be careful. So I can't look past them. At the same time, it's hard not to be getting them little butterfly, I get excited for what's after it, but I'm just in my own head, I'm just trying to completely blank it out. Just say, look, it's all about Santos Madrana now. Right now, it's all about making weight. Then it's about making the refuel. Come the next day, once we're refueled, everything's good. Then it's back to the tactics we've been working on throughout camp for Madrana as a southpaw. I haven't fought a southpaw since 2019, 4 years. So he's the first southpaw. So like there's a good few questions around this, with weight, with southpaws, with everything like. The southpaw wise, I haven't lost. Well, now look, I don't want to be going back to the amateurs, but I've never lost a southpaw. I don't know, was it a strong point of mine, or maybe there just wasn't a huge amount of them around, but I fought a few, and I've never lost to them. But at the same time, I haven't fought with them 4 years, so it's going to take adjusting. And like come true next week, it's the perfect setup, to have a southpaw, and then maybe the Craig McCarthy fight after, because he's a southpaw, of course, everyone knows. But yeah, look, all about next week. I can't wait. I just can't wait. It's, as I say, as far as I'm concerned, Craig McCarthy fight isn't there until we get the business done next week.
Obviously, just want to get your thoughts on obviously the last couple of weeks, and obviously Irish box, and obviously someone you've come very close to, and obviously Conlan obviously falling short against Lopez, and obviously Katie Taylor and Gary Cully and Dennis Hogan, and even obviously Kate Radomska obviously losing in Dublin. I guess sort of, do you sort of look at, I guess, for your fans, sort of in ways where probably they're more your fans than anything else, but sort of giving your fans sort of, be your first wins in September as well. So it's crazy to think it'll be your first one in 9 months. Do you obviously sort of look to next week and sort of try to put the glory sort of nights back in, that you can give people something to celebrate probably after the last couple of weeks of Irish boxing? And there's been wins obviously for other people and stuff as well. Callum Walsh obviously won his first belt in America last night as well. So do you sort of look to next week in a celebration sort of for yourself?
Hey, look, there's nothing to celebrate yet, and even get the win. Like, obviously, I'm after 5 horrendous camps, so I'm taking a couple of weeks off after this one, and then get the job done, take a couple of weeks off, go on a holiday, and then straight back down to business and back to capturing the belt, And as you say, like, yeah, I think the biggest killer of all them fights for me was the Mick Conlan one, because I'm just like, I met him what now, twice, and I had a chat with him as well in Galway, and just a very, very, very nice fella. Him and Jamie, and it was, that was a sickener. I thought I did coming into it now. I had him. I said, yeah, he has this. But what a fight they gave us while it lasted. Mick could have, he could have went and he could have boxed your man, but again, fight to the crowd. Like, he gave the crowd probably the best 5 rounds, that they could have seen. Could have played it fucking dull as well, like, and bored them to death and just picked your man off or whatever. But I didn't. Again, you give the crowd their money's worth, and like, you gotta take your hats off to people like that, I find the same like that with me and Jamie. There was no we weren't looking for somewhere to hide. We were there in each other's faces, and we were going to war. Giving the crowd their money's worth. There's a lot of people out there who fight very poor opponents for their whole career. Going 30-0, undefeated, whatever. Like, but what have you actually done? And I think that's just codding fans. And we don't do that, and you can clearly see Michael Conlan doesn't do that either. And the Katie Taylor fight, yeah, just a weight class too far in my eyes. Just one weight class too far. I think she needs to come back to her natural weight, and hopefully we can see the Serrano fight. Dennis Hogan fight. Oh, the Dennis Hogan fight. I feel he didn't look right in there. It felt like maybe a bad weight cut or something. I don't know. I didn't see anything afterwards, but it just seemed like it wasn't himself in there. The Cully fight was just a sickener, wasn't it? That was a real downer. But I still think that could be the making of him. Sometimes you need something like that.
I was going to say that obviously a testament, obviously, of Irish fighters is you know, it's only a defeat if you don't learn from it. And obviously, you've obviously experienced obviously defeat now yourself, and it sometimes can make you hungrier. And Katie can come again, Mick can come again, Cully can come again. Obviously, not Dennis Hogan's obviously 38, so maybe obviously now he's had his homecoming. That might be it for him, or he might continue on. I think he's two more fights with Matchroom as well. So if he wants to fight on, he can fight on. But you know, it's a testament, obviously, the Irish fighters that they keep plugging on and keep plugging on, and they'll get back to where they want to do. If you have a strong enough goal and a strong enough belief to get there, you'll always get there. So sometimes there's bumps in the road, but you can always still achieve your dreams. Just a setback, you know.
Yeah, like that. The last two fights, as you said, they've been the making of it. Like my career now, it's captured the imagination of a lot of people in Kerry, you know, and now everyone's that homecoming. And like, you know, how often do you have a guy that's 6, 7 fights in, they could sell out a big venue in their home that early, you know? And look, as I say, can't look past next week, but I think let's just get past next week and let's get it done, you know. I think it's Kerry's never had that big homecoming, you know, in boxing. They've never had that big night, and I think that's what I'm here to do, you know. Before I go on, and I want to push on obviously towards that European title next year. Before that, I want to give him a big night in Kerry, you know. And what better way to do it than for the Irish title? Wouldn't it be unbelievable? Um,
Just wanted to
again,
sort of
kind of,
touch, just wanted to sort of finally touch, obviously, on the fans because you know you've built such a base in Kerry, and obviously the last two fights, everybody's been able to pick you up. To say whenever the results haven't went the way that you've wanted to, you've still went there, you've still shown your face, and you still thanked everybody for the support. And it seems like the fan base is growing more. You know, from what obviously, you know, from what I can see, it seems like the fan base is growing more. So people are getting more behind you because they've seen that even in adversity, where obviously it hasn't went your way, it still hasn't changed you, and it's probably made you hungrier than before. So just obviously wanted to, you know, get your, I guess, and obviously you want to thank everybody for their support there, but you know, it just seems like the fan base has grown even more in Kerry, and you know, you probably might have to look at bigger venues, and you probably looked at before because once you start adding other fights to the card, then people will need tickets as well. So I guess it's happy times sort of ahead for you when you sort of look at them dreams and aspirations. Maybe they can become reality.
yeah. You know, just one thing about me is, you know, I fight with my heart. You know, I can definitely say that. You know, sometimes the tactics go out the window, and I could feed to the crowd and I fight with my heart. But sometimes I'm at my best when I do that. You know, um, yeah, like I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm using the wrong word when I say fans. You know, because every single person that gets a ticket to come see you, they're part of the team really. That's the way I look at them. They're all playing their parts. Even that last fight, a bit of a slow start, and then the crowd started getting a bit riled up, and then you start hearing the chant, the Kevin chants, and then you can see me turn, the tide turns, and then I'm in it, and I'm on the front foot, so like, they're playing a huge part. It's like they're your corner team. They're doing their job in the night as well. So yeah, I think it's time to stop using the word fans for me and just start saying, another part of the team. But yeah, look, you gotta love every one of them. And as you say there, go back even after a defeat, a draw, no matter how sickening it is, then people have still, they've got out, they've come, they've supported you. What's the point of me going home and being depressed at home for a few weeks? No, that's not me. I might be upset. Might not like the situation I'm in, but I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna thank them people for coming, and look, next one, we'll get them next time. That's it. And we will, we'll get this weekend out of the way, and next weekend out of the way, and we're gonna give them a huge, huge night again. Um, in bigger numbers again, I think. But yeah, they're unbelievable, aren't they? The support is it's crazy down here, and like I do think that's this what I said a few minutes ago. Probably it's the best way in explaining it. I've captured the imaginations of them, and after the last two fights, I think I've captured the hearts as well. So now I have the hearts and imaginations of them, and just to keep building on that, and keep selling out, you know, and hopefully we get that European title then, you know, maybe next year and then the next year, and you can be talking stadiums, you can be talking Fitzgerald's. Out of the way first, and then some fun times ahead.
Well, listen, obviously, thank you very much, always, for your time. So, obviously, close out to your next fight. Enjoy, obviously, the sunshine whilst you're making weight over the next couple of days. Unfortunately, we obviously won't be obviously in Cork next week. But obviously, hopefully, someone, you know, hopefully you're going live for your fights, and hopefully others are going live to fights, or even Martin Hogan has a stream. But obviously, all the very best of luck for next week. It's the first fight. We haven't been there in a couple now. Maybe we were the bad luck sort of thing for you, in being there. You know, the last couple we've been there, you haven't got a win, so you get a win next week, and then I'll be banned from future fights as a bad luck omen. But thanks as always for your time, Kevin, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you very, very soon.
Nice one, yeah. As you said, last two, I didn't get the decision me once, I didn't get the win. But yeah, look, and yeah, I'm sure we'll see you in Clarny at the next one.
Definitely. Well, so thanks for your time. Cheers, Kevin. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.